Sometimes while driving down the road, I'm thinking to myself, if I was to get pulled over, could I talk myself out of this one? Welcome to Demolition Ranch. I've made a video with these before. These are the multiple impact bullets. They have a center slug and then 3 little leaflets that come out from the sides attached with a string, so it flies at a 14-inch diameter at whatever you're shooting at, theoretically making it easier to hit whatever you're shooting at. I had some issues with these though. They did not function my slide reliably at all, and they also did not even penetrate a watermelon, or did not even pass through a watermelon. And in my opinion, if they don't pass through a watermelon, they're not going to do very good against something harder like an attacker. So I posted my video. I said the pistol rounds 45 ACP did not work well. The shotgun rounds worked great. They seemed to work just as advertised, and they were actually pretty hard hitting, and they had a huge spread on them. But these, not so much. The company contacted me, and they have 2 different rounds. They have a stunner and a stopper. The stunner is low powered, the stopper is high powered. They think I must have got the stunner mixed up with the stopper. So they sent me some more. These are their stopper rounds. We're gonna try them again, and I'm all up for a redemption video. I gave them a bad review before, but if it works, it works. So we are going to first fire at our target just to see if it cycles the slide. The last video I was using a USP-45 Tactical. A lot of people said that that spring is a stronger spring than a lot of guns, so maybe that's why I wasn't cycling. Here's a regular USP-45. We have it loaded up with 10 of the multiple impact bullet rounds, and hopefully it will cycle all of these. That cycle. All 10 of them. What I noticed in the other rounds is when I was shooting them, they were very weak and not kicking this gun a whole lot. Those felt like normal rounds, so far so good. These were left over from the last shoot where we couldn't get to cycle very well, so I want to see if these are stunner rounds as well. Yeah, that shell fell right there on the ground. They're falling right here instead of kicking out further like the others were. They did all cycle, but you can see they all fell 2 feet from where I was shooting, and it didn't kick as much. Those others were firing a good 5 feet over there, so they were barely cycling. So maybe it was the USP Tactical that was a little bit stronger spring rate. Maybe that's why those weren't cycling before. The beautiful Colt 1911. Have these stunner rounds loaded up. I want to see if they cycle it. Seemed to work pretty well. How about an even older Colt 1911? This one is commander size. I have a stopper cartridge loaded first, followed by 6 stunner cartridges, because I want to compare how much further that stopper shell ejects. Way over there. Well, that actually went pretty far. These are firing a little, these are ejecting a little bit further, likely because this is a pretty old gun and probably has a pretty worn out spring. So we know they'll cycle, but will they go through a watermelon? Looks like our slug hit dead on. Let's go check it out. Here is the front of the watermelon. We have 1 or 2 entry holes here. I'm not real sure. That could just be 1. We have 1 little exit hole here. And then as I was looking a little closer, I see the string hanging down. And one of our petals went in there and then came out right there. Check this out. I cut it open. This is the front. Let me roll it so you can see here. I just cut it along the bottom. Here's where that other one went through on the bottom here. And there is another one stuck deep. It came in right here, went all the way to the back, and stuck along the wall. So the center slug went through, 2 of the petals went through, and we lost 1 of the petals, which is to be expected because this watermelon is smaller than 14 inches in diameter. So one of those petals, excuse me, probably just flew around it. So it functions the slides pretty well. It goes through a watermelon pretty well, which as we all know is the FBI standard for testing ammunition. But let's get to this bullet's claim to fame. In a threat situation, it's hypothesized, well, it's been proven that you're not going to aim. You can't do these minute little movements. You pretty much just point and shoot. When you're in a threat, you have that adrenaline dump. That's just how it is. So let's hypothesize about this situation. A middle-aged Italian male breaks into your house. He is a bodybuilder who skipped leg day, and he has a gun. What are we gonna do? Oh wait, we have one right here, perfect. Meet Luigi, middle-aged Italian male, bodybuilder, has a gun, skip leg day, especially on the left leg. Let's run through some drills and see how we fare with the multiple impact bullets. This is loaded with stunner rounds, and unfortunately I won't be able to simulate an adrenaline dump situation because I never get scared. But fortunately, I'm always dumping tons of adrenaline, so there you go. I'm just gonna pull it down here, raise it up as fast as I can, fire at center of mass. I didn't think my shot placement would be this perfect, but should have never doubted myself. Center of mass, all 3 petals, as well as the center slug, which I assume went right through here. Oh, actually, you can see right there. There's where our center slug went through. So everything hit him right in the middle of the torso. So that didn't really emphasize my point that you can kind of go off to the side and still hit the target, but you can see the spread. Let's try something else. This time I'm gonna turn around really quickly and try to shoot him in the left kneecap because it's obviously not doing a whole lot of good anyway. Little chicken leg. That one did spread a little bit more, but actually I think he might have made it through. One there, center slug around here somewhere, and this one just barely missed his knee. Let's try it again. I'm gonna tell the company that it's not very good for kneecap shots, which is pretty much all I'm interested in. It's not even close. Let's go for his right kneecap. Woo. I think we might have nicked it. There you have it. That center slug destroyed his right kneecap. We also killed his left foot. Let's be honest though, in a home defense situation, you're just gonna be rapid firing. Got him. I saved his top half for a reason. Some of you guys like protecting the house with a 12 gauge. Looks like one to the center of the sternum and one to the throat. Looks like a throat shot, shoulder shot, and a forehead shot. That'll work. So those pedals have strings on them, and a lot of people have wondered if you're shooting at something and something is in the way and catches that string, will it screw up the flight? I mean, it probably will, but will it screw it up enough that you don't even hit whatever you are shooting at? Like for instance, what if you're outside and you're shooting through something thin like these little sticks at your target, maybe an attacker? Are those sticks just going to kind of wind up the strings and slow it and lose all velocity? The slug should still make it through, but what about the pedals? That's the whole reason for having that bullet in the first place. So we have a test set up. This is going to be harder than any stick ever to get through. We have a freshly painted target. The strings will definitely get caught up on this. This is a bunch of layers of fence. So if anything gets through this and hits that target, I'm gonna call it a success. These are the full power stopper rounds. We have 2 hits, it looks like. Let me get this where you guys can see. A hit right there and a hit right there. That looks like our slug, and that looks like a pedal. Those were not there before. This was a freshly painted thing. Let's see if our string is hung up in here. I do not see it. No. Ooh, look what I see though. There's one of our pedals. Did not make it through. It's got a big old gouge in it. Probably where it hit one of the wires. Neat. All right, let's finish out the rest of the mag and see how many dings we can put on that target. Looks like we have quite a few, and it looks like those are the slugs coming through. So our pedals may be getting caught up on all this wire. So no surprise there that the thick metal wire did disrupt the strings and took out the majority of our pedals. It looks like though that the majority of the slugs, if not all the slugs, did make it through. So I'm gonna say that this ammo is completely redeemed. And full disclosure, I was not paid to say this. I wasn't paid to make a second video. They simply sent me more ammo. And I even tried the old ammo that I had, and it functioned fine in my guns. And I would guess that it was just the HK USP Tactical that had a high spring rate and wouldn't allow those low velocity rounds, the stunner rounds, to cycle. And I would guess that with the stopper rounds, it would cycle, since I was seeing how much further they were kicking out of the gun, and I could feel them physically pushing me back harder. So all seems well. Thanks for watching Demolition Ranch. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys next time. I think I've been in the woods too long. But you know what they say. Make YouTube videos when the sun shines. Contact! What about the quad hawk? No, don't move, don't move. Bobby?